Peter Badel, mate, some drama today, mate. Where do we start? We'll start with Stephen Fulton-Liam Wilson, mate. I guess just give us your reaction, your first thoughts on this situation. Stephen Fulton-Liam Wilson.
Yeah, I got a call this morning at about 8:30 in the morning saying that he was 139.5 pounds and he was over by about 6 pounds, Stephen Fulton, and I was just in shock. I could not believe it. And then I was told, the fight, they were going to give him an hour to lose the weight, and clearly, what was an hour going to do? That wasn't going to achieve anything when you're 6 pounds over. So I just think it's an absolute disgrace. It's an embarrassment to a lot of people, mostly Stephen Fulton. It's an indictment on his preparation, his discipline, his respect for this whole card. There's so many good fighters on this card. This is one of the greatest cards we were hoping to see in Australian boxing. But this is also a global event. This is going to DAZN worldwide, PBC. He's obviously, they're behind this as well. So this has global ramifications. And for Steve Fulton to, by the looks of it, not even attempt to make weight is just an embarrassment. And he should be ashamed. And I think even they had made allowances, like it was meant to be at 130, this fight. They made allowances to go to 133, and to then still blow that out by 6 pounds, 9 pounds all up. That's nearly 5 kilos. I've never seen anything like it. So I know No Limit said he's the most unprofessional fighter they've ever seen in their 10-year reign as promoters. So that says it all.
I think it's worth pointing out, Pete, that a lot of people will criticise No Limit for this, but No Limit is at no fault in this situation.
It's a good point. Look, yeah, you're right. I mean, often I think that's one thing that's overlooked. Like maybe the casual sporting fan or someone who's not a hardcore fight fan might not understand the ramifications of this, and sometimes the promoter's blameless, really. I mean, the promoter I know No Limit spoke to Stephen Fulton yesterday and said to him, look, if you're having trouble making weight, let us know and we can try and maybe negotiate another weight class. And he told them, no, I'll be good to go. I can make 133. So the fact that they had already made adjustments and then Fulton assured them that he would be able to make weight just sums up his attitude to all this. And look, as you say, you can't blame any promoter in this situation. No Limit have put on great cards. I've been critical of some of their matchups at times, but I just think it's a real shock. And ultimately, I know they're devastated as well, No Limit, because they want to put on the best cards they can. And thankfully, we still have the main event intact, which is Tszyu, Errol, Spence. Bring it on.
Mate, what did you see up there today? Final face-off, Errol, Spence, Tszyu. Tension up there, Pete. What did you see? Give us your final prediction.
Love the look of both of them. I got to say, Tszyu looked brilliant. Really did, and I loved he looked a bit fuller. I think I've seen him a few times in recent years where he looked a bit gaunt at 154, and you could tell that the weight cut was doing it a bit hard on him. But I thought he looked refreshed. I thought he looked vibrant. I love him at 160. I think it's probably the right weight for him now. And importantly, he's a lot thicker. So I think in terms of even punch resistance, as we saw against Murtazaliev, he struggled with punch resistance with the IBF rehydration. He couldn't put on more than 10 pounds. And I think in that fight, it really took a lot out of him. So when Murtazaliev landed, Tim filled every shot. I think he looks a lot better, and he's going to have to be, because Errol Spence, he is shredded, he's diced. I remember when Tony Harrison came out here to fight Tszyu, I think there was a sentiment with Harrison that he was just here for a holiday. I'll tell you what, Errol Spence is not here for a holiday. He's the business. He's a bad man, and I think he has done the training, done the hard yards, and by the look of both of them, optimum condition, no excuses for either man.
Errol Spence wins?
Well, as I said yesterday, Jay, look, in my heart, I want Tim to win. I hope he wins. It would be a Jeff Horn-Pacquiao moment for me if Tim wins. It would be the biggest scalp of his career. I hope that he comes out early. I spoke to Jeff Fennick and Jeff said to me, the first 2 rounds is everything. The first 6 minutes will set the tone for this, which tells me Tim will come out aggressive. And it's an interesting one because traditionally Tim has been a cold starter. He's been dropped 4 times in the opening 2 rounds. Back to Wade Ryan, and then Terrell Gachet dropped him. Fendora's dropped him. Murtazaliev's dropped him. So he's going to have to start fast and be careful, but I have to say the longer the fight goes, the more it will play into Errol Spence's hands. look, I hope Tim doesn't get knocked out, but whoever wins this fight, I don't think it goes the distance. So ultimately, my final call, after saying all that, I think Spence's class is permanent, his movement's wonderful, his speed and pressure application will be the difference. I think he will win.
Appreciate the honesty, Pete. Always appreciate your time, man.
Anytime, Macca.